Well, the weekend is over. As we all know, it was an awesome weekend. We had two GCW shows back to back on two different dates, but also IWTV with the Untitled show that took place on Friday. So, let's review all three of these events right now on this episode of Deleted Wrestle Zone.
Are you ready? Get up, get up! 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 Get up, get up!
Welcome everybody to Deleted Wrestle Zone. All things that is pro wrestling with AEW, NXT, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, the National Wrestling Alliance, various promotions, wrestlers, matches, and championships. I am your host, Jared here. So let's begin with the latest IWTV event called Untitled. This took place on the 8th of October. It opened up with a couple of wrestlers I don't know named Alec Price and Rip Bison. Now, Alec Price seems like a truly heel from he's telling people to stop cheering him, that he doesn't need them. I seen that kind of often. As for Rip Bison, he seems like the kind of guy who he's about to rip you to shreds. But in this particular match, it did show how Alec Price was outsmarted Rip and winning the match. Our next match is for a title match from a different promotion from Pro Wrestling Magic, where Jordan Blade has beat Ali Catch for this title, and she set up an open challenge. And her opponent was Kaya McKenna. I've seen her before. I think I've seen her in AEW Dark. I'm not 100% sure, but it was a good match. Not if I have to rate this one, I give it maybe a 6 or so. But because the reason is I don't know much about some of these girls. I don't follow much, but I like enjoy the varieties. But Jordan Blade was able to retain the title when she put uh, McKenna away one way or the other with the 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Our next match is a from another promotion called Camp Leapfrog. It's for their top championship between someone we know, world famous CB versus the champion. Um, what's his name? Avery Good, being accompanied by Abby James and Dan Champion. Now, in this particular match, it did show that the seconds, one was compelled to help Avery, the other no, and that person was Abby. It was kind of strange that Abby wouldn't play by Avery's rules. Like, you gotta help me cheat my way through. But, I don't know. It's more like she was conflicted. But, world famous CB kind of, how do I say, put up a good fight. But, however, it was Avery that was able to retain the title when he finally put him away in a submission move. Next match we have is a six-man tag team match. You may or may not have heard these guys. First team we got Chase Riser, Donnie Ray, and Antonio Ace taking on BK Westbrooks, Bojack, and Diego Hill. It was a good match, I have to say. One of the most interesting trios matches in this particular show, and I think I like this one a lot. But it was Diego Hill who picked up an amazing victory when he pinned Donnie Ray, and I think I may follow these guys one from what I can tell. Then our next match is another title match from another promotion from Action Wrestling. This they had their title on the line from challenger O'Shea Edwards taking on Eric Royal. Two powerhouses. It was hard to determine who was going to win because I don't know who these guys are. But I'll give you the short version. It was Eric Royal who actually picked up the victory when he pulled off a lariat and put him away. Next match is a women's match. We got Megan Bain, who I've seen many times on AEW Dark, taking on Kennedy Copeland. It was a very hard match, but however, Megan Bain showed how superior she is with her look and her gimmick. It kind of fits into her persona, and I think that fits well. Our next match is a Triangle of Violence death match. We have Anthrax versus Gigi Everson versus Austin Luke. Now, Gigi Everson is part of the promotion H2O, which I'm going to review one of their events later on in another episode. It was a pretty good match. It was Gigi Everson that pulled out the victory when he pinned Anthrax. It looks like maybe H2O could be invading IWTV. Next match is for the I A I AIW tag team titles, the Absolute Intense Wrestling tag team titles between Philly Marino Experience, Marino T, Philly C taking on the Rip City Shooters, Joshua Bishop and Wes Barkley. It was a good match, but however, it showed that the Philly Marino Experience were more of the heels in this one, but they used low blows that not even the referee saw, and they actually won those titles. And our last match is the IWTV Independent Wrestling World Title between Alex Shelley and Wheeler Yuta. What an amazing match! I think it was a pretty good match. Seeing Wheeler Yuta how he progressed, but however, Alex Shelley was able to put him away with a great submission. I mean, it was pretty good, and he became the new IWTV World Independent Wrestling World Champion. So what's next for him? Well, is yet to be seen. But for right now, let's move on to GCW. Which one we're doing? Yeah, the Fight Club. Alrighty then, so we got the Fight Club by GCW on the 9th of October, which was a pretty good event. It opened up with a triple threat match with the return of Alex Zane, who we haven't seen for quite some time, until facing off against Ninja Mac and Leo Rush. I have to say, this match was crazy and I loved it, especially Ninja Mac, who does these amazing flips. He's nuts. I would have loved to see Ninja Mac win, but Alex Zane, who is now back on his game, it showed that he still got it. You guys can say, you still got it. But he picked it up a very good win. Next match, we have tag team match. We have Joey Janela teaming up with Mr. Fun Size, Marco Stunt, taking on the newly formed tag team, Starboy Charlie and Chris Dickinson. I have to say, this duo is impressive. They're calling themselves Eye for an Eye because ever since then, Starboy Charlie has been give respect to Chris Dickinson, and Chris Dickinson took him under his wing. And I have to say, it played out pretty well. And I think Starboy Charlie is learning from Chris Dickinson, and that kind of helped him to ensure that he and Dickinson win the match. However, Joey Janela gave respect to Chris Dickinson, knowing that he has to show him the ropes and all that other stuff. And of course, Dickinson is well prepared what he's about to do for him. Our next match, we have Jordan Oliver versus the Lone Wolf from Ohio, the Silver Teeth Satan himself, Atticus Cogar. As you know, he is now on his own. He is no longer with 440, which is good. The reason he stepped away is because he believed that Ricky Shane Page screwed up not to take out Nick Gage and everyone else. But the match was pretty good. I think Jordan Oliver is one of the most younger, experienced, ready to make a statement. He even beat him fair and square. But however, he tried to show some respect to Atticus, but Atticus, who's being a dick, refused to be that guy, and he just gave him the spikes right in his head. Our next match, well, this was a title versus career. The one person the GCW fans don't want, Matt Cardona taking on Effie for the title. Now you can guess that Effie would do everything in his power to ensure he retain the title, but Chelsea Green showed up and allowed for Matt Cardona to win. Now Mick Foley did say F Cardona prior before this, and I thought it was pretty funny. So basically, he is here to stay in GCW, and many fans probably may not like that. Our next match is a scramble match. Now, originally it was supposed to be six, and here were the six. We had Jamie Lloyd, Dante Leone, Gringo Loco, ASF, Braden Lee, and Calvin Tankman, and the surprise seventh member to join this is Thunder Rosa. Yeah, she actually integrated herself into this match. I thought she did pretty good, but however, Jimmy Lloyd, who has more experience in scramble matches, proved victorious on this one. And I know many fans probably say we want to see Thunder Rosa. I mean, maybe, but Jimmy Lloyd had the much experience on this one. The next match is a six-man tag. We had the debut of the Death Samurai, Akira, teaming with G Raver and Alex Colon, taking on the Second Gear crew, uh, AJ Gray, Matthew Justice, and Mance Warner. I thought it was a pretty impressive match. I say Akira really did a pretty good job, but however, it's uh, Second Gear crew who were proved victorious, but they put out a promo at the end of their post match where they believe no one can take them, but out of nowhere, them boys showed up. I'm talking about the Briscoes. Now, this is huge. Seeing these guys make an appearance, I can't wait to see what they're going to do. Hopefully, that tag team title could happen. Now, this one's a very impressive match. We have Yoya taking on Shane Mercer. Mercer impressed me with how he was handling Yoya, and I thought it was pretty good. I was impressed. And of course, it was him who won because this is a matter of David versus Goliath. But that's how it was. Our next match is for the GCW World title in a death match. You have Nick Gage, you had Jon Moxley. Anything could happen. Of course, we saw the pizza cutter one way or the other, but Moxley put him through a glass table type thing and allowing himself to pick up the victory to retain the GCW World title. But the real question remains, who will be next the challenger? Well, that's yet to be seen. So right now, let's go to the other event, of course, the Aftermath. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to review is another GCW. This took place on the 10th of October for the Aftermath. The opening match is, of course, once again a six-way scramble match. We have Everett Connors versus frontman Josh C versus Gringo Loco versus Marcus Mathers versus Ninja Mac versus the return of Nate Webb. I thought it was great to see Nate Webb. We haven't heard from him for over a year. It was great. I mean, I mean, the match in scramble matches, anybody could win this match. But however, in this particular one, Ninja Mac came out victorious. Yes, Ninja Mac pulled it off. Our next match, we have Dante Leone versus Tony Deppen. Good match, and it was pretty good. However, Tony Deppen actually won this match pretty easy because he is trying to make a statement. So practically, we'll see what happens then. Now, in this particular thing, what happened is we were supposed to have Nick Wayne in his match, but he was viciously attacked by Acticus Cobra being a total dick. He tries to beat him up, even put those spikes on his head. He was trying to wipe him out, but luckily Young, Dumb, and Broke showed up, and Jordan Oliver gave him a piece of his mind. Now, I don't know if, what's his name? Acticus Cobra would challenge whoever's on this, but I thought it was great that Young and Dumb and Broke actually helped him. Now, our next match, we have Starboy Charlie versus Alex Zane. What an incredible match. You have this newcomer who is making a name himself, and not only that, he is under the wing of Chris Dickinson. It's pretty good, I have to say. It showed a lot of character with Starboard Charlie to take on a guy like Alex Zane, and I think Starboard Charlie will have a good future in the wrestling industry. Next match we have is ASF. I've been trying to find out what ASF stands for. It stands for Alfredo San Francisco taking on Calvin Tankman, and you can guess in this one that Calvin Tankman went because of his huge size. I think that kind of plays out a good factor into it. But yeah, next up we have is Ali Catch along with Effie taking on Mercedes Martinez. It was an incredible match. Seeing Mercedes Martinez, who was part of the original one during Shimmer, but it was great now that she's back on the horse. But the real question is, how long will she be? Mercedes Martinez, I don't know if she'll be making more appearances. We do know she did make an appearance in Impact, but it's great to see her. But however, Ali Catch picked up a really good victory on this one. And in our next match, Joey Janela versus Minoru Suzuki. Yeah, this match was so insane. Joey Janela did everything in his power, but however, it's too much for him when Minoru Suzuki took him out with the Gotch style pile driver. I thought it was pretty classic, but that's pretty much it. And of course, many fans tell Joey Janela, you effed up. But so basically, they're well aware. Our next match is a death match, which is Jimmy Lloyd versus Alex Colon. Great moments, I have to say, but it was Alex Colon who was able to walk out in this one with a lot of bruises and cuts. However, he received a surprise visitor from Akira who wants to challenge him. I thought it was pretty amazing, but he did tell him, name the place, name the time, and the location, whatever, you know. So it's still unclear about that. So it will happen in Chicago, from what I can tell. But I also failed to mention that Minoru Suzuki is going to challenge Chris Dickinson down the line. It's still unclear when, if it's going to be on GCW or New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong. But we'll see how that one will be played out as well. And I think I'm going to end it right here for all of you. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Coming up, we got AEW Dark Elevation, H2O with the No One Is Safe. Then we got Tokyo Yoshi Pro and Stardom reviewing these two Yoshi promotions. I can't wait to review these two for all of these past events, and we'll see from there. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next DWZ time, same DWZ channel. I must bid all of you adieu, so goodbye, and have a nice day. Bang.